What's up guys, let's talk about best Renegade setup for shooter players. We already talked about biker players, best Renegade setup for biker players. I will be giving the video link in the description, you can watch that. But now it's time to talk about shooter players. Of course we are going to include Jair. Jair is one of the strongest Renegade in the game, and he was the strongest Renegade in the game for quite a while. Now it's Megalodon, but that doesn't mean Jair is not effective. Jair is still very strong and the best you can get for shooter players. But there are 3 Renegade slot in the game and 2 more Renegade slot after you use Jair. So the effectiveness of Jair depends on what 2 Renegades you are going to pair him with. So these 2 Renegades that you're going to pair Jair with matters a lot. If you will pair Jair with wrong Renegades, it's going to decrease his effectiveness. So we are going to talk about the best Renegade setup for shooter players. So let's talk about the other 2 Renegades that you are going to use Jair with. First, let's talk about what GM really recommends. GM recommends that you use Jair with Ramona and Celeste. That's what GM recommends, and I understand why GM recommend this. I don't think it's the best Renegade setup, but the reason why GM recommend this is because it's value for money. Ramona is from season 2 battle pass and Celeste is from season 1 battle pass. So if you have Jair 3-star, 4-star or 5-star, you're going to pair him with Ramona. Celeste is going to save you some money and it's going to be quite effective as well. If you're looking to save some money, I think that's the Renegade setup that you can go with. But I don't think it's the best Renegade setup. The reason I don't think it's the best Renegade setup is because Jair is from agility persona. If you will take a look at Ramona, Ramona is, I believe, from intellect persona. Celeste is from patience persona. So all these 3 Renegades persona didn't match. So it's reduced its effectiveness, it's reduced its damage. So I don't think it's the best Renegade setup, but definitely the best value for money. So if you're looking to save some money, I think that's the setup you can go with. But we are talking about the strongest Renegade setup for shooter players. So that's not going to it, guys. So let's move on. I'm going to talk about 2 more Renegade setup. The next one after this I've seen players using are using Jair with Ramona and Luis. Now this is a lot better than using Jair with Ramona and Celeste, because if you will pair Jair with Luis is also a Renegade that use agility persona, and Ramona is also a very good Renegade, guys. Ramona is one Renegade that I think work with almost every Renegade. She's the one that balance the march. She's the one that stabilize the ops. So I think Ramona is a very effective Renegade. So that's the another one I have seen people using, but still I think in my eyes it's not the best. Definitely a little bit better for biker players, but I don't think it's the best Renegade setup that you can use for shooter players, because Luis is the one that is on agility, but still we are using Ramona that is on intellect persona. We need to use all 3 Renegades on same persona to increase their effectiveness to 100% and maximize their damage. So I don't think that's going to work. Now the best Renegade setup in my eyes for shooter players is going to be using Jair with Luis and Gabi. This is the best Renegade setup in my eyes. Gabi is also a very good Renegade. So pairing Jair with Luis and Gabi is going to work the best in my eyes. You can put Luis on protection attribute and Gabi on physique attribute. Of course, Jair is going to be on technique attribute. I think that's going to be the best Renegade setup for shooter players. All 3 of these Renegades are on agility, so the damage is going to be the maximum, and I think this is the best Renegade setup that you can use as a shooter player. It's going to maximize your damage and Jair is going to be very effective. As a shooter player, if you have all these 3 Renegades at 5-star, I think you are going to deal with pretty much every kind of Renegade setup quite easily, especially if you are a shooter player. So I think this is going to be the best Renegade setup if you are a shooter player. Do let me know if you think different than me. What is your best Renegade setup as a shooter player? And that's going to be it for the video, guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe the channel, do all that good stuff. A lot of videos on my channel that is going to help you out a lot. So you make sure you check this out, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, peace.